What was the economic value of enslaved people in America? Imagine a country built on the backs of millions of people whose labor was seen as a resource worth billions of dollars. That's the reality of slavery in America. By 1860, nearly 4 million enslaved individuals were living in the United States. Their combined market value was estimated between $2.7 billion and $3.7 billion in that year. To put that into perspective, that was one of the largest pools of wealth in the country at the time. When we adjust for inflation, it would be worth several $1 trillion today. That shows just how much wealth was tied up in human bondage. The value wasn't just in what enslaved people were worth as property. It was also in the work they did. Enslaved workers were essential to producing major crops like cotton, tobacco, and sugar. Their labor made these commodities some of the most profitable exports for America. Between 1839 and 1859, research shows that enslaved labor contributed about 19 to 24% of the increase in the output of these goods per person. That's a huge chunk of economic growth driven by forced labor, especially in the southern states where slavery was the backbone of the economy. The wealth connected to enslaved people shaped the entire country's economic landscape. In the year 1860, the total wealth tied to enslaved individuals in the South was over $3 billion. That was a significant part of the region's total wealth, which was much higher than in the North, where slavery was less prevalent. This wealth disparity helped reinforce the social and economic differences between North and South, fueling tensions that would eventually lead to the Civil War. But it's important to understand that slavery was not an efficient system. After the abolition of slavery, agricultural output in the South dropped sharply. Income per person also declined and took decades to recover. Freed African Americans chose to work less or in different ways because they now had control over their own labor. This shift shows how much of the economy was built on coercion and exploitation. Looking at Black American history, the economic value of enslaved people reflects how human lives were turned into commodities. Despite being forced into labor, enslaved African Americans contributed enormously to America's growth. Their work laid the foundation for the nation's wealth, yet they were denied the benefits of their efforts. When slavery ended, they began long struggles for freedom, economic opportunity, and civil rights. These efforts have shaped American history in profound ways. In the end, the economic value of enslaved people was immense and central to America's development before the Civil War. But it was built on the suffering and denial of basic rights for millions of Black Americans. Recognizing this helps us understand the true scale of their contribution and the deep injustices they endured.